Good look at him. All right, we've got Arcadia Grey. Good night, everybody. I don't want to do my remixes this week. He asked him and passing nothing off casually. I smirk, reply, slid off to the side. Haha.
We are back on a show that we do every week. We try to do it every week.
Yes, we do.
We try our best. But we are back on our show, Earth, Mind, and Matter. We talk about what's going on in the Earth.
In our minds.
And that's why it matters.
This is Earth, Mind, and Matter. I'm Frankie.
I'm Javi.
And we have a very, very special guest.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Javi. Tell us about the special guest.
Yeah, so today we are finally talking to our very first special guests that we haven't had the chance to actually do before on this show, where we've had people here in person on top of that too, like on camera and everything. Look at us. But yeah, we have Arcadia Grey coming out of Chicago, coming down to see us while they're doing their tour for Casually Crashing.
Yes.
Their second LP that just came out just last month or at the beginning of this month. What was it?
Last month, the 10th.
Last
May
month.
10th. Yeah, it's been like
May
over
10th.
a month
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
A month
man.
and 10 days.
Nice,
A month
nice.
and 12 days.
And feel free to move that mic around if you want to closer.
yeah.
Check this
So you
out.
don't gotta lean back or anything or lean forward. You know, whatever's comfortable for you.
Is this good? Can you hear me all right?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Put this camera down. I'm talking.
Nah, it's okay.
But yeah, so this is the first time we've had a special guest on, so we're also trying to figure it out as we move forward, but we just really want this to be a really comfy conversation.
Yeah.
Just us shooting the shit, just having fun, just being dumb and just doing what we do.
Yeah.
But if we want to do proper introductions, who do we got here?
You want to start over there?
Sure.
Nice.
Hey, I'm Dylan. I play guitar in this band called Arcadia Grey.
Oh, nice.
That's so funny.
Hi, that was Dylan. I'm Cooper. I play miscellaneous instrument.
Ooh.
Drums.
Hey, I'm Cora. I also play guitar.
Nice.
Hey, I'm Nat. I play bass. And I sing sometimes. Cora, do you sing?
Yeah, I do this one.
Wow. That's so cool. Hi, what's up, gamers?
What's up,
What's
homies?
up, gamers?
What's up?
Yeah.
Are you all part of Vape Nation?
Dylan is.
I'm a big part of Vape Nation. Yo.
Some of us are still in the nation. Some of us have moved out.
Okay.
Man, I don't even know what Vape Nation is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fuck Vape Nation, boy.
Do you not have a vape?
I do have a vape. Oh, okay. I thought this was something else, like exclusive type of
I
term.
you from a mile away. You had like a fat box mod, right? Like,
Nah, I got like that elf bar. The fucking. We're talking about vapes, right?
yeah.
Stuff well left out. I have no idea what to address it as. So
Yeah, no, I always think about Vape Nation from that. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, the Hillary Clinton meme queen video,
Oh,
where she just is bouncing all between different memes. She starts it off of like with the Pepe mask, and she's like, "Oh, here comes that boy. Just kidding, it's me, Hillary," and just like it just kicks off the whole video, just a bunch of dumb meme references. She hits with the Vape Nation.
Isn't there a thing where she's like, Pokemon, go to the polls?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she
was
did in
a-
that video.
2016 was a crazy time.
It really was. Someone was just asking me about that of like, this movie came out in 2016. That's not that long ago. And then I thought about it. I was like, I don't know.
That's
It's about to
8
be 10 years
years
ago. Yeah. But I mean, you guys released your first album in 2019. It's been 5 years now.
Yeah.
Off of that, I just wanted to ask, because I saw one of the interviews that you guys were talking about that you guys recorded Konami Code in a 4-day sprint.
yeah.
that's crazy.
Speed ran it.
Fucking
We said, hey, producer, can we have 10 days to record? We'll pay you good money. He said, nah, we can do it in 4.
But it's incredible considering that you guys did that, because Konami Code is just such an incredible album as it is.
Hell
and
yeah.
Has made such a staple in the genre on top of that. And I wanted to know, like, doing Casually Crashing, I know that you guys have taken your time a little bit more. Like, what have you learned from doing Konami Code to now Casually Crashing?
Oh, boy. When you start a new project, at least my approach to Casually Crashing was like, how can we correct the mistakes that were made the last time? Like, we want more time, so like there's a lot of stuff that we had written for Konami Code that just like didn't get put on there because like we ran out of time. Like Cooper got like one take on the viola. There were like backup vocals, just like the naivety of like recording a first record.
Right.
And sorry if I'm speaking a lot. I feel like I definitely spearheaded this record, so I have a lot of opinions about the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to make sure that we had enough time. We spent like a decent amount of money on it to like get the quality we think we deserve for these songs. And so you're in the process of like writing all the mistakes that you make of the last project, and then you start making a fuck ton more for the new one. I hope this answers your question, but like, yeah, in terms of like recording, we definitely approached it with, we want to record with somebody who like knows what they're doing. Like no harm to Chris. It's just like who recorded Konami Code had a little less experience than what like our new producer had on Casually Crashing. Hello. Hi.
That's our mascot, Link.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with Link right now. How do you feel about not getting a solo video game this time around?
He says, you know what? It's all right.
Zelda deserves this. Do you guys have any opinions about recording Casually Crashing?
Yeah, at least with recording Casually Crashing versus Konami Code, I feel like after our experience with Konami Code, we kind of just overdid it with Casually Crashing.
Okay,
Nice.
like you overshot it, but like in a good way.
Having the time crunch and the pressure, I think, did a good thing for the work that we had, and we just had a lot of time to spend on thinking about Casually Crashing, which was good for like developing and fleshing out songs. But I think if we had hopefully like working towards the future and stuff, we kind of just overcorrected. We had too much.
What do you
time
mean
and energy on the
overcorrect?
songs.
I don't know if that's the case.
Well, that's I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
This is like we're selling the record.
Please buy.
It sounds sick. I'm not gonna say it doesn't.
No,
Yeah, it's 5 years. We cooked it a little too long. I'm so just hyped to have it out and ready to.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
We appreciate that. I think with Casually Crashing, the core will say we cooked it too long. I think we took it out of the oven at the right time, and then it just sat. You know,
Cool down a little.
Yeah, cooled down. Too.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe left it in the fridge for
you know, like,
leftovers.
we could talk
Leftovers are slamming, man. They marinate a little more. It gets fucking good, you know.
Yeah,
So.
they just dried out. You know when you get those fries from McDonald's and they're kind of good,
Yeah.
but they're just like not. They're lukewarm. It's like the McDonald's temperature where like you get the McDonald's like cheeseburger, it's too hot. It doesn't taste good. If by the time you're done finishing the first one, the second one's too cold, it doesn't taste good. There's like a perfect McDonald's temperature where all the flavors are like the right temperature.
I know I've gotten drunk and bought fast food, fell asleep, woke up the next day, tried to eat the burger. It's disgusting. It's the nastiest shit you ever had in your life. But
That's because you have to
I don't know
wake
how
up
it relates.
drunk and then you can have it again.
Just a White Castle briefcase next to you. It's so
Oh my
fucking
God.
gross.
Ew, White
Holy
Castle
shit.
booster box of sliders.
But in terms of the record, yeah, I mean maybe we overcooked. I don't know. I hope people like it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I would say this, like Javi really put me on to you guys.
Hell yeah.
And I never really listened to much punk rock beforehand. Honestly, never. He took me to my first show. It was the Menzingers.
Whoa.
And it was fucking awesome. Yeah. I had no idea what I was going into, and then we just get in the middle, and everybody starts pushing me. And it was fun. It was so cool. That was the same day as the Travis Scott Astroworld thing and everything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, bro, I had to ruin that little, you know. But no, it's really incredible, I'll say. And just as like the third or fourth album I listened full through, it's crazy, and that's pretty vague in itself, and I'll elaborate much later. But no, you guys made some really incredible music that made me teary-eyed, it made me happy, it made me bob my head. Like it was like so much little things, and I listened to it back to back twice my first listen. So yeah, like I appreciate you guys very much for putting good music out. Yeah.
I was gonna say to sort of relate to that sort of sense of like maybe overcorrecting or like maybe taking too long for a project, because not only do I do the show with Frankie, but I also make comics too.
Yeah.
And that is a very like tough process because I do the whole sausage. Like I write it, I draw it, all that stuff. So recently I did a 4-page short story where I did that. I crunched myself in the span of a month. Yeah. And that's the fastest I ever made a short story. And so I definitely feel that sense of like that crunch and that pressure, and then versus taking your time with something. And like, I've been working on a project for a really long time since I've known Frankie, and I still haven't finished it.
Yeah, you like overthink and over. I mean, I think that's how this record came. Like the first song that was written out this record was Hallie. Like Konami Code came out, and then in the fall chorus, like, check out this heater I wrote, and it's like so good. But you have 5 years to sit on these songs and listen to demo after demo and like practice after practice, and like there's I mean, I feel like some of us are just like not as stoked on these songs because they're like not new to us, whereas like fans and like people are discovering it are like, this is great, we love this, whereas like us is like, That's sick. Wait till the next stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, projects will always expand to the amount of time you give them.
That's
and
true.
It's not indicative of the quality of the project.
Right.
Like the record is sick, and I'm glad that we got it out.
Of course. And that was another question that I had, because considering like what you guys are going to be doing in the future, I just was curious, like, from what you guys have learned from Casually Crashing, what are you going to apply moving forward, if anything?
I don't know yet. I haven't really evaluated like what we should fit. It's only been a month since the record came out. So
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
of
really, I haven't
course.
really looked
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, for me, I'm like looking at this record, being like, oh god, I hope people like this. And
Mhm.
it's been a month, and I'm like, oh man, nobody's like, people are listening to this record, but not as many as Konami Code or whatever. Like, and that's not true. It's actually doing just as good, but like,
Okay.
you always want your project to be better than the last, and it's only been a month, and I feel like I'm like letting myself down when long story short, Konami Code had like 5 years to grow between this record, and I'm looking at this one. I haven't like really had time to evaluate like, what did we do right about this record, what did we do wrong. Like, I feel like it'll take a second. However, that being said, moving forward to the next project, I do think like having a time crunch and just like getting the songs out like sooner. I mean, there's a whole ass pandemic and us moving to Chicago and just having to like figure out how to be adults between like getting the record. Like, it just took time. And, like, getting the right people to like invest in it too. It just took time to put stuff out sometimes. Hopefully, Cora, hopefully we like, you know, we want to write LP3 real fast and make it the best thing we've ever done.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Casually Crashing is sick. It's I think that it is inherently less accessible, and it's more so for Arcadia Grey fans than Konami Code, which is more so for a general listener, which I think is really fun. And ultimately, I think I like media that's self-referential, and it kind of develops its own personal image rather than like remaining attempting to appeal to a larger audience.
Right.
So I'm excited to work on another project. I think I've learned a lot about mixing in other genres and influences, and the biggest thing with Arcadia Grey songs is creating like an emotional note or hitting like an emotional chord with someone personally, and I think that the Casually Crashing songs really taught me a lot about that. So I'm excited to incorporate that into new stuff. And also just like I learned a lot about production, like music production, during the process of writing Casually Crashing and working on it. So it's cool to like be able to have an idea of a sound in my head, and now I can get it out to other people and express that idea, which is something that I feel like I learned how to do.
Right. I mean, I can relate to that again to my comic stuff, because like working on my last project, I was telling Frankie there'd be moments where I'd be working on it, and I would like kind of zoom out and look at him like, this is coming out pretty good. And like I'd just be like, yo, who the fuck am I? What am I doing? But it is like that feeling where when you take a second back and just look at it and just say, hey, you know what? This is actually pretty fucking good. We did a good fucking job.
Yeah, I think there's a healthy mix of like appreciating what you've done, and then also like having a little bit of self-doubt about what you're doing.
Of course.
I think it'd be dangerous to have a overconfidence towards your art.
Yeah.
However, it can also be dangerous to have a lot of self-doubt. But there's a healthy mix between the two.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's I don't know the word, but it's a healthy battle between the two to like create something hopefully you enjoy and other people enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Frankie and I can relate a lot to that, just like doing this show in general, just like finding our balance and like learning how to like communicate with each other and just work as a team, and making sure that the content that we put out is of quality while also like trying to keep up with a schedule. Like it's definitely a challenge, and like it's a job at the end of the day.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest difference between Konami Code and Casually Crashing was Konami Code felt more of like a collaborative effort as a band, like in terms of like the songwriting. Like we took time as a band out of our busy schedules writing Konami Code, and like we had shells, but we kind of fleshed those out together as a band, where Casually Crashing was like pretty separate for most of the tracks. Like Cora had them fleshed out, and then we just kind of like learned them and changed things before we went in the studio, where, you know, I'm hoping that the next record can be more collaborative again.
Yeah, I mean, I also wanted to clear something up. You guys will list yourselves as a trio band. So,
Who's this motherfucker?
so I'm just curious about that.
I can answer that.
That's
for you.
funny as hell, bro.
That is Dylan.
Hell yeah, Dylan. So I was just curious about
The fourth
that.
member of the trio.
Because I just think that's funny.
If you're asking the government, we are 3 people.
Okay.
Dylan
Just
is,
3 kids in a trench coat.
I'm a silent partner in this
Nice.
investment.
You're the and sign in the Ben and Jerry's logo.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan is. I mean, so we write. Arcadia Grey is a trio. When we go on tour, like, but Arcadia Grey is a trio, but Cora writes like insane lead parts, and like our songs are really massive, and like to get the best sound as possible for the live audience, like we want to bring someone cool who wears cool jerseys and hats, has a good taste in music, and
That is
Might
a
have
cool
to get a
jersey.
New Jersey.
So Dylan like really shreds. So Dylan's kind of like, we call him Dylan the fill-in, but he's done enough tours now where it like feels very comfortable. Like
Hell yeah.
on the package and stuff.
Dylan probably is like the chillest person to take on tour.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've met a more chill person on any tour. It's like every single day we wake up and Dylan's like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go.
Chill as fuck.
That's how I feel like with Frankie sometimes. Like Frankie is just like it'll be no matter what. I'll hit up Frankie and be like, yeah, fuck it, let's just do it. Like, it'll be like 3 a.m. I'm like, I have an idea for something. He's like,
Yeah, he's
So
the
what's
one that
up?
started this podcast idea. He came up to me and he was like, "Yo, you want to start a podcast?" I was like, "All right." I was like, "Why not, bro? Let's just do it."
Yo, we're pretty
And,
funny together. Let's start a podcast.
And we told
Like-
jokes and then nobody laughed.
yeah. Like we always like to think that we differentiate ourselves because we're brown. It's like, you know what? We're not like every other podcast with 2 white guys talking because we're brown. But yeah,
To the moon. To the moon.
To go down the tracks, like I think it's really cool because you guys are so funny with your track names too, and just
Yeah,
like
honestly, you are.
it. Like I always love it when bands do that. It's just it just really shows a sense of humor, and to also shows that balance of having a lot of an emotional core to these songs, where it's just a lot of these songs are songs that you can bop your head to, but once you listen a little more deeply and like really look at the lyrics, you're like, oh shit, this is like it's just saying
No,
a
it's
lot.
heavy. It's
Yeah.
super heavy.
Well,
And,
it's like
Mhm.
masking. You know, like we all like we've said this before, but we like
Mhm.
we hide and mask under our like really sad moments. We cope with humor.
Right,
That's good.
right.
Like
Yeah.
our biggest, like I don't think we ever have a serious conversation in the band without cracking like 30 jokes in the process. And so that's kind of like what our music represents. I don't know if you have more to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look at Frankie and mine, like texts, it's just half of it are just stickers. We
Yeah,
just send
yeah.
each other. Just
Yeah,
like-
really.
It's
like-
so childish.
Yeah.
It is. Sometimes it's to a detriment because we'll be trying to have a serious conversation and then someone
Yeah.
will make a joke and it's like, but like seriously, I need to know a real, I need a
I'm
real
crying
answer.
over here. I need.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of like Arcadia Grey. Is it ethos? Is that the right word? Like,
It might be the pathos.
you know,
Shit.
we want to approach like heavy subjects,
Yeah.
but we're uncomfortable and we want to make people comfortable and with them and like throw a little bit of humor in there. And, like,
Right.
That's what I
Be
feel with
funny.
what's it called? I don't know what you just said because I work a shitload, right? Like aside from this, like a lot of jobs. And the other day I was at my job and I go to the I work in a hotel, so then I'm like 6 a.m. I go to the bathroom and I just take a nap, right? At 6 a.m. I'm just sleeping on the fucking floor, and then I'm just like, God damn it, and I gotta go out again. I gotta be like, hey people. Then you gotta go to the next job. You gotta be this and that. And so I was listening to this. And it was like, there's a lyric that said like, take the responsibilities, like, and it just killed me, like, because like you do got to put on a smile when you go outside. And I think I'm very good at that. I'm very good at interacting with people, not showing any like, weight beyond my face, But it's, this is why this music's so crucial because you have so much fun listening to it, like physically. But then internally you relate. And I think it really just, meets that middle and it's a good like outlet. And punk rock is still very new to me. So for me, whenever I do find something like this, it's really incredible.
Hell yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
so that's what I really grasp from this mostly. But the lyrics are incredible. You wrote most of the lyrics, or is it because or
Or
I mean,
probably like
yeah.
80%.
because you write incredibly, and then the things you've said in there's an article, I forget who interviewed you for the track list, but you're very well written, spoken, and you are incredible at what you like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say that because everything I read was it was said so well in such a short span, and I feel like sometimes, like for me, I babble a lot as well, so I can't really grasp my point. But when you capture it so quickly with words that are so like pinpointed to like make that, you know, it's incredible. You know, so I really wanted to commend that.
Thank you.
I got you. Yeah.
The lyricism on this record is interesting because like outside of like punk rock and stuff, a lot of my musical background is like Earl Sweatshirt, MF Doom kind of stuff.
Nice.
And I try very heavily to implement like double entendres and stuff and like multiple meanings, and like I love carrying lines over bars, which are all elements that I feel like I don't get to see a lot in this genre of music.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm a person who loves like inner references to things and like self-referential media, which is often to my detriment because I'll make jokes to a thing that I know and reference, but nobody else knows the thing that I'm referencing. So I'm like, guys, it's really funny.
Hilarious.
If you knew all the references, it'd be hilarious.
But I think it's cool because people will reach out to us like people. There's a Noid reference from Domino's that Cora made, which is like, is this Domino's? What the- or like somebody asked us who Glob, like what Glob meant at the opening track in Top Deck Jinzo. Like, that's like the god from Adventure Time. Like, Cora just like knows how to like.
This is a Smash reference, no, too, no? Or am I wrong?
Is that a Smash reference?
There is a Smash reference,
there is,
right?
yeah.
There's a couple.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I use genius.com to find that out. I don't want to
Genius in our lyrics.
Yeah,
and when you go on
man.
there, it's like, this is a Smash reference. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, man.
this
There's a
stuff
lot
is
of things like
dense,
that.
dog. They're gonna need a dictionary and a thesaurus.
Yeah.
This is how dense it is because sometimes Cora will write things and record it, and the record will come out, and someone will say something. I'm like, that's not true, and then Cora will be like, actually, it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit,
You're
the dense one.
I'll always make references like that to Frankie that Frankie just doesn't get. Like we have this soundboard, and one of my favorite sounds that I use with him that he just doesn't get is this one. I don't know.
Oh, they can hear it, no?
Oh, y'all can't hear it.
Describe it with your voice.
Hey, I'll do it myself because even if I do it myself, he won't know what it is. But it's the
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Is it the Villagers?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Minecraft
bro.
Villagers.
We
I
need
didn't even know-
Minecraft Villagers in our freaking soundtrack.
I kind of
Do it,
thought
bro.
maybe that kind of sounded like a Yoda thing for a second.
It did sound like Yoda for a sec.
He got it.
Yoda's a bit longer though. Like there's like
Yeah.
The survivors of perimeter create.
Kermit almost.
Okay. You can do your Yoda. I can do my Kermit.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they are both green. Hey, I'm just a green guy. What are you doing here?
hey man, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Boston.
I don't know what's he doing.
Deep voice Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, he's Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
Yo, don't call
Good
me that.
vibrations.
You
One of the songs, the second one, it's so long.
Kevin Pickles.
Kevin
I don't
Pickles.
even know what the last
And
half is.
the Great
Kevin
Pool
Pickles
Noodle
on
Excursion.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you just read it right there.
We wouldn't know if we couldn't read it.
But that song is so funny, and I definitely think about that. Like if Frankie and I were to ever have
Oh
a
my
place
God.
together, just like who the fuck would do the dishes?
This guy's the
Like,
neatest person in the world. The first time I came over to his house, I don't know if he had a rug before.
I did.
Yeah, right. And I spilled something. Right, I spilled like a little beverage, and then he was like, "Oh my God!" So he went to go get his vacuum, his spray, his little lint roller, something like that. And I'm just watching him do the process, and I'm like, "If this is my house, I'll be like, don't worry about it. Just let that shit so marinate."
Yeah,
He's
Nice.
clean, but I'm
Yeah.
not pretty messy. But I've been on trips.
Anime posters
Mhm.
and stuff.
Oh,
around
yeah.
here.
man.
Did you guys watch One Piece?
I started watching One
Yeah.
Piece more officially, but we also actually talked about the first 3 volumes.
Yeah, we
on
covered
an
the first
episode.
4 issues, and then what's his name? The creator, I forget his name. A something.
I'm not sure.
I usually remember all the time. The one day I need to know it. Fuck.
I've been thinking about starting One Piece because I just knew that was like a show that had like 1 million episodes. So when we
Right.
like recorded that in the song,
Mhm.
I was just like, I think it would be so fucking funny if like Cooper doesn't do the dishes because he's just been binge watching like 1,000 episodes. of One Piece.
Yeah, we workshopped a couple animes that were mentioned as the intro. I don't know why the One Piece one was the one
Because
that
none of
ended
us
up
watched
landing on.
One Piece, and I asked
That-
my friend like,
Yeah,
should I watch
I-
One Piece? And they're like, no, the pacing is terrible.
Ichiro Oda, that's his name. Ichiro Oda.
Yeah. I never watched any of One Piece.
No?
I've started catching up on it so that I can be versed for when inevitably someone comes up and asks a One Piece question.
Right.
I'm only
Somebody
up to like
already
the clown
asked me a
battle.
question.
That's
Like,
a
who's your
long-ass
favorite
anime.
One Piece character? And me sitting there having never watched
Goku?
Naruto.
I really like Gojo.
Yeah, well, actually, we're all like JJK fans now.
Yeah,
JJK fans.
I don't know what JJK is.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
oh
dog.
no, I still don't know. I never watched it. I'll say.
It's a good one.
Highly
guy.
recommend it.
Yeah.
They put me on it on our last tour. It was like, and then I finished it when we got home. It was so good.
I'm watching Demon Slayer, Naruto, and Vinland Saga. I don't know.
Okay,
If Vinland Saga is good, man. Oh,
I also finished season 1 of Dungeon Meshi.
Ooh.
So good.
Yeah. Holy shit. I watch some anime.
What was? Have you guys watched Blue Lock? Oh man, that
That's
one
the
is
soccer
really
one?
good. The soccer one.
Okay.
Like I'm not even like a sports fan, but that shit just fucking slaps. I'm watching that shit. I'm like, yeah, fucking get that goal, motherfucker. Let's go.
Everyone tells you to watch Haikyuu, so maybe I'll check out that one.
Is that the volleyball?
That's the volleyball.
What the
one.
fuck?
I've heard about the volleyball one too. Yeah, man. There's an anime for everything.
Golf
dude.
anime.
Golf anime, chess
Sure.
anime.
Yeah.
Cora
That'd be
watched
awesome.
one about a guy who turns into slime.
Slime. That's my nickname in pool.
It's reincarnated as a slime. That one, it was okay.
Yeah.
That one's dang.
That one sounds like it'll be
I
okay.
feel like I started really high because like
Mhm.
I've only watched a handful of anime. Let's be real, very Western popular anime. Like
yeah.
I watched Cowboy Bebop and Ava,
That's awesome.
but then like and now I watch JJK, which I think is pretty popular over here. But
Yeah.
like I feel like I started really high and I don't know where to go next. I don't like. Is there anything better than that?
You
So
watched
anyway-
Spirited Away?
Yeah, I mean I love all the Ghibli
Yeah.
films.
I've never
Ghibli
seen
stuff,
Spirited Away.
Big fan of this.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting that. What the fuck?
I saw The Boy and the Heron though, and that was a great movie.
Yeah,
It was crazy though. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah,
It's insane.
I really want to see.
Mhm.
Or I also watched the Godzilla anime that was on Netflix. That was really good.
Did you guys see Godzilla -1?
Yeah,
Shit was good.
All right.
You thought it was alright?
This is my hot take. I like.
Well,
Hot take. Hot take. Here we go.
We're a major Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
Over here,
So,
'cause,
like-
I mean, how can you beat that's like the craziest Godzilla
Right,
film?
right.
ever.
I mean, I love Godzilla movies. I'm a big fan. I lived in Japan for a while.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, bro.
So like, Shin Godzilla was like a response to like. So first off, I like -1. I think it's a good movie, but everyone says it's like the best. I think Shin Godzilla is like the best of like the modern era, just because I feel like it's a such better response to like that movie is a response to the earthquake that happened in 2012 and like the tsunami and how like the government like was so slow to respond and still is, and like as far as I like even like
and
few
they had like the nuclear reactor meltdowns via the earthquake and tsunami at that point
Yeah,
too, and
and
it's just
just
like horrifying.
if you go to those areas now, I mean, I know a few years ago when I lived there, like, and that was like 5 years after the earthquake, like those people still like were living in temporary housing and like were fucked by the government and like
Jeez.
aren't getting help. And
Damn.
last I read, they were turning that like town they got like demolished into a park, but what are they gonna do with the people? So anyway, Shin Godzilla to me, like after like that movie came out freshly after living there, and like was just like very much like whoa, like this is how you like criticize your government and also make a fucking awesome.
That is
movie.
pretty fucking
Hell
dope.
yeah.
I never seen
Where-
Shin Godzilla.
Now we gotta watch Shin
That was
Godzilla.
the same.
Okay.
Hideko Anno, right?
Yeah, the same guy who did
same
Ava.
guy who did Evangelion. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then -1 is also a good critique of the government. I just really like Shin Godzilla and the more modern take on it.
You think it did it too quick? Like it just kind of zipped through the whole critique of the government?
Or just
know?
like no, I think it did a good job. I think my gripes were more like the directing and stuff.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like over exposition and stuff. I'm sure if I knew fluent Japanese, it might be better than like just listening to the dub.
Right.
But
Yeah.
So, which one of you guys went to film school?
that's me.
Oh,
No one has the most to say about film.
The one who came in here carrying the $3,000.
I figured as much, but I just
But-
really wanted to double check. But no, I mean, so like, what have you done the music videos that you guys do as well?
Yeah, I think I did. I did.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's
All of them for
it's
the record.
yeah.
kind of.
I did Kevin Pickles and I did Made for Love, and then I shot all of the everything video, but because we were on tour, I like did not want to edit it, so I sent it to my friend Sam Walker. Shout out Sam, super
Shout out
cool
Sam.
editor.
Shout out Sam.
They edited and helped shoot some of the old Konami Code videos. They were
Nice.
super sick. But yeah, I did the Kevin Pickles and the Made for Love video.
Okay.
with my friend Michael, who we make music videos together with.
Hell yeah. So the other music videos that you do, like, are they within this genre as well, or like?
We're like branching on stuff, but we make music videos for stuff. I just edited the one for Cliff Diver. I don't know if you guys know Cliff Diver.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I did the last Ben Quad house show.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
Ben Quad's like
nice.
last house show. And we're like getting out there. We're branching out, but yeah, I make music videos and
Hell
short
yeah.
films and stuff.
Hell yeah. Frankie really wants to make a short film of his
Yeah, I
own.
tried making a movie. I was working with my coworkers in Starbucks,
Yeah,
and that's what another thing I asked Javi to do. It was my flaw to ask people who I work with to make a movie, you know. But they were with it, and then so I took them to the peers over here. I read them my script, you know. I kind of like this and that, and we did it for like a week. We got like maybe 20 seconds of film, and then everybody was like, "Nah, I can't do it no more. I can't." And then, but it was really cool because I just think in general it's good to pursue that because I don't know, it's beautiful. I think I seen the video with the socks. I don't know if there's a music video. That
Wait
was
for Love, yeah.
that was the first one I saw, and it was cool, man. Because I was like, these are just socks, and I could tell I know how they feel. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that.
Yeah, you can shout out Emmett, who made the socks.
They were awesome, and so and even the whole thing about it was great. And so I don't know, when I saw that in About Yourself. So I think it's cool, man. I want to make that movie in the future if I do. Oh, I was gonna ask though, if you could put your music in any past film, right, or any like future genre type of film, what would you put it in? Because I'd be thinking that when I'm like going to the movies, I go like every Tuesday. I just get high as fuck, and then I just walk around the city, and then I'm like, damn, this song would go fucking good with this way.
When we're on tour, I'll just put my earbuds in. Like I was listening to, I just got into this band called Seosin. I sound like they don't exist. I don't know if y'all know. You probably do. I just got into Seosin, so I was like listening to them staring out the window, like I'm in a movie right now. What do you guys think? Past movies?
I think like Scott Pilgrim would be dope.
Oh,
that
was
was my first.
that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm trying to think like.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Maybe
That's something like Dunkirk, like
Green Room.
Green was a fucking dope ass movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what our music would fit in. I don't know, like Lady Bird maybe.
Oh, Lady Bird was so good.
There's some like punk rock movies that I feel like we fit. There's movies about kids like coming of age. Just any of those like high school, college movies would be sick.
Did you guys see The Sound of Metal?
oh
man,
I started Sound
I'm
Metal.
afraid to watch that.
Oh man,
I was like, I had seen and read about it.
Yeah.
I think this was like 2 years when it came out. My dad was like, let's watch a movie together. I was like, let's watch Sound of Metal. I heard so much. It's like the first 20 minutes of that movie is like so way too close to home for me. Like, it's like them pulling up to a DIY venue, them talking to the like staff, folding shirts and stuff, playing a show while their ears are like falling out. And I was like, I have to turn this off. I can't watch this movie. I was actually thinking that might be a good movie to watch on this tour.
Nice.
Yeah, we like to scare ourselves. So like that's why we watched Green Room while on tour on our last tour because we're like, wait, when's it gonna happen?
Is there a movie, Cora, that you think?
I don't think so. I'm not super versed in movies.
Okay.
I when we did talk about Green Room, because we also talked about it on an episode before, but I did want to hearken on that and ask like Desert Island Band, if anything. Like,
Green Room, Desert Island Man?
Yeah, like, you know.
Oh yeah, they say that in the movie.
Yeah, they say that.
I feel that on that help.
I forgot about that shit. I was just like, what's the correlation?
This does feel like that scene at the beginning of the movie where they're like doing the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to stick with that, so that I have character growth, I don't have a Desert Island Band.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that like what a band you listen to?
I thought it was like Desert Island, like 3 things you would take with you: a CD, a book, and like.
But in the movie Green Room, they asked like what the one band.
Oh, 3 band. Oh, the one band.
Yeah.
And then the lady at the end, what did she say?
She said, "I don't give a fuck." Yeah. Because like that whole character's like growth is like he can't like make choices and he's like not confident in himself, and so like by the end of the movie he can like confidently shoot the fuck out of the bad guys. But yeah, he doesn't pick a band at the beginning.
Oh, I was just about to watch Green Room.
Oh,
But you don't know which bad guy you choose yet.
Yeah, you know, there's so many bad
There's
guys.
quite a few bad guys.
I thought the main character was Elijah Wood.
This
For like 10 years, bro. I was like, this is Elijah Wood. And then I told him, he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This guy is dead. He's not. Yeah. Wait. So what is your Desert Island Band?
I don't know.
I think mine would be Jeff Rosenstock. And if Bound the Music Industry counts too, then There's so many albums that it'll last me forever. And
Nice.
he's
Hell
the
yeah.
best. So that's mine for sure.
Nice.
I don't know if you knew, but Jeff is doing a residency here. Yeah.
Oh my god! If I had more money, I would have flown here and bought tickets to that. Like,
oh man,
and he has pub opening for one of
yeah,
those shows.
it's
That's
so
awesome.
I
Yeah.
didn't get tickets for that, and I'm so upset that like I'm not gonna see it because now the tickets are resale like $150. I'm like,
Jeez,
fuck,
yeah.
man, it's so expensive.
Yeah, that's the cool shit ever. When he announced it, I was like, that's such a cool
yeah,
idea.
and the poster is fucking sick
Mhm.
too. Like whoever did the art to that was incredible.
Yeah,
But
right.
Jeff Rosenstock is fucking incredible.
He's the best. I have a bomb tattoo.
Hell yeah.
He's the best. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Isn't that like tour like or that residency is like every time a show sells out, we will play.
Yeah,
until
they
it
had
don't sell.
another.
Yep.
Oh wow.
How many
Yeah.
shows is he up to now?
They're up to 7 or 8 now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
crazy.
and they're saying it's gonna be like a different set list every night too, and everything. So it's like should be pretty wild every night there, which is fucking
Stick
sick.
around here for
Yeah, can we just, when is that again? Can we just say
It starts on the 20th, so
Yesterday.
of August
Oh.
till the
So we say you're in
27th.
a month? 2 months?
Just crash here, bro.
Go
All right,
ahead.
let's get some jobs. I feel like my Desert Island Band, if I had to answer, which I won't, but what I would say, probably like honestly, Weezer. I feel like they have such a massive
That was awesome.
discography,
Mhm.
and it's also like, for the most part, is very wide in range. So I feel like that's good for at least a year, and hopefully
Nice.
I'm dead by then.
Well,
Oh yeah, mine would definitely either be Motion City Soundtrack or Prince Dead and the Hyena.
Nice.
They both have like large enough discographies that I don't really get bored listening to them, and their music always fits like a handful of different moods. So I've listened to both of those bands for at least 500 hours.
hell yeah.
So, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So we'll see.
You know, that's actually something I wanted to ask you, Cora, because I saw you said the Cosmic Thrill Seekers is like their magnum opus. And like we covered Cosmic Thrill Seekers on the very first episode of this show.
Yeah.
And so I was curious to see what you find so amazing about that album and like how that influenced you towards making Arcadia Grey music.
CTS is one of, if not my favorite records of all time.
Hell yeah.
Both just because I really appreciate the tonality and like the writing of Prince Dead and the Hyena. But I really, as I've mentioned before, I really love the self-referential and like the personal development kind of aspect of music. Like when bands are able to reference another track on the album or a previous work of theirs. And CTS is filled with so many little Easter eggs
Right.
that it's such a fun re-listen. And with how a majority of the songs are both able to flow into each other, and even like shuffling the album, they're able to flow into each other.
Yeah.
It's an album that encourages re-listens, which I think is really cool because I love I'm a big video game person, and I love video games that encourage like replayability.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because I think when I first started listening to Cosmic Thrill Seekers, I actually wasn't too crazy about it at first. And it took like some listens to really get into it of being like, oh shit, this is like fucking amazing. And like it's such an incredible album. And like P Daddy Hoodie is such a fucking awesome song. Like there are so many moments already now where I played that song here in my apartment, just like two-stepping by myself, just in my living room, just like, fuck yeah. Such a good song. And it really does encapsulate that sense of like, you know, like having that piece of clothing that just brings you comfort. And it's like nothing feels better like being your P Daddy hoodie. And it's I love that.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. That record is probably one of my, if not my most listened to record. And I don't know, just a cool band.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a piece of merchandise that both cements them, and I can think about them when I feel anxious or whatever.
Right.
And also, it's just very cozy.
Yeah, right. It's so fucking soft. I also wanted to ask, did you guys ever like get in contact with Prince Daddy or Origami Angel, or are these just straight up odes to them? Just like
it's mostly odes to them. I think we've like talked to a couple members of P Daddy in person before. We haven't seen Origami Angel in person, but like,
I mean, we chatted with them, but it's not like we asked permission to make these songs. Like,
right.
it's more like an homage, and
yeah.
And you know, if they listen to them, cool.
Yeah.
If they take us on tour because they listen to them,
Origami
Fingers
Angel
crossed.
has like, acknowledged our existence on the internet more than once,
the
and
best.
that is like
they're sweet.
almost
fellas.
as much as we can ask because we do want to play a show with them. At
Yeah.
least. That'd be really fucking awesome.
Yeah, Gami Gang is fucking great. And we actually tried to get Corey on the show many moons ago, and that just never really panned out. But like that and Cameron had agreed to be in the podcast at some point as well. So we're trying to, I would love if we could ever do that again. But I haven't had the chance to really speak to anyone from Gami Gang as much as just like shoot them a couple messages here and there. And I've covered a handful of their songs as well. And like, they're such cool people. Like they're just so much fun.
Yeah.
When you say replayability with a game, do you mean like when difficulty is hard, you could play it very hard, or do you mean like Fable, like you could make different choices?
Yeah, I mean our Arcadia Grey band name is based off of Arcadia Bay from Life is Strange.
That's awesome.
Kind of game.
What?
This guy.
Well, my girlfriend loves that game.
Yeah.
She loves that game so much. Yeah.
Games like the Walking Dead Telltale series, the Undertales, those kind of games.
Yeah.
Right.
Like games that encourage further develop. Like you can play them in different ways. I just recently played through Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the first time, and it's just like I love games that you can finish, or I love stories that you can finish without getting the whole story.
Right.
Because it encourages you to go back and look for new things and elements in it. And as you continue to play through it and you learn more about the game and you become better, like you experience it more, you become more familiar with it, you see new things that you didn't see before. And I think those are my favorite pieces of media.
Oh yeah. So what is like your guys' favorite video games? Like what's been like
Desert Island game.
Desert Island game.
That's all this podcast is. That's all.
Because like
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Oh, I just started playing Sea of Thieves.
Tight, yeah.
Oh, I fucking love Sea of Thieves. No, my cousins and I, when we play that shit, and whenever we're done with a session, we'll do like the music thing where we all play our instruments at the end, and I'll do like a shanty. I'm like, and today we went down and got many treasures, and they get so done with my shit, and I'm like, but it's so funny. But I'm the only one that finds it funny. But Sea of Thieves is fucking awesome. I feel like Frank has been playing a lot of Fallout.
Yeah, I
now.
love Fallout so much. Fallout is so
You watch
fun.
the show and you're like, I gotta
No.
play Fallout.
No, I played Fallout Vegas during COVID. And you need a pandemic to play Fallout because you need days back to back to back to back. Yeah, but it was mind boggling. And I just started Fallout 4. And I quit Fallout 3 midway because I just worked, So now I'm just like, let me stop going out on the weekends. Let me start playing video games on the weekends. Life improvement just soared, because it's so much
great for
fun.
the budget.
It is. Oh my god! I don't spend money. Like, why would I spend $12 on 2 beers when I could just be home? Maybe spend money on
$12 once a month to have like entertainment for like days.
Game Pass, man.
Game Pass
is the best.
I feel like my Desert Island game, like I'm thinking about it, I feel like it's probably like the Borderlands like
okay.
series. Just like in general, like they have the Telltale games, and then they also just have like 4 or 5 games now.
Right.
And they're a blast. I like them. They're all like a little bit different from each other. There's a lot to do, and the guns are cool, and the enemies are. It's just a fun game to play for me. It's so fucking funny.
That turned me on to Borderlands 2, and that's probably my favorite FPS I've ever played.
That's no gamer.
Next guest.
This is my brother Lucas.
Go through, man.
Yeah, the Borderlands games are great. Are you excited for the movie? Do you have any hope in that?
I was really stoked for the movie, and then the trailer came out, and I was like,
I didn't see the trailer.
Who's in it?
Jack Black as Claptrap.
It's fucking old people. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, Jack
Clint
Black,
Eastwood.
and like, is it Jessica Chastain? Is that who she is?
Yeah.
Like, I just think they all need to be like,
Is
I'm
Jack
not
Black
ages.
playing Claptrap?
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes a lot
Jack
of
Black
sense.
makes sense for.
I didn't know that.
Jack
before.
Black makes sense for that. Kevin Hart's playing Roland.
Roland, right?
Roland's supposed to be like 8 feet. Like I'm not a I'm not a canon. Yes, like I'm not. Like, it doesn't matter. I think Roland will. Kevin Hart fits for the job, but like Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Tannis, who should be like 20 years younger.
Right.
Just like in general, and like Jessica. I think it's Jessica. I don't know who's playing Lilith. But she's also like really. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are these like 50-year-olds going down to like fight like tentacle monsters or 60? Yeah, I don't know.
Their experience.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like that's what we used to do as kids.
I was stoked for the movie. It just doesn't have like the sauce from the trailer.
That pop, a little pop.
I might go see it if like another trailer comes out. But from what I've seen, it just kind of looks stale. A lot of people keep like saying it looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like
Right.
where, like I feel like, did you guys see the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't see it.
That
I
movie
fucking
flames.
I thought it was so good. I
You
went
said
to
it
go
was
see
good.
really good.
I went to
Yeah.
go see that movie by myself, and I
Nice,
came
as
back.
you should.
I came back where to film with these guys and shit, and
Yeah.
like they asked me, "Oh, what were you up to? Why couldn't you film earlier?" I was like, "I'm gonna go see Dungeons and Dragons."
Yeah, it
and
was
they were
awesome.
like, "Okay, so anyways."
Yeah, it was awesome. And that movie's a like movie that like has like Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
feel, but it also has like the sauce. Like
Yeah.
it's creative with its shots. It's got a fun, twisty story. It's got a good cast of characters who feel like they fit in their roles and aren't 100 years old.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I haven't seen Borderlands 2 yet. Also, like I'm not a big fan of like I think it's Eli Roth who like directed that movie.
yeah.
Not a huge fan of his work. But the guy who did Deadpool 1 and Terminator Genesis or whatever directed like the reshoots and stuff. So I don't know. It looks kind of like a mess to me.
Okay.
That's a
okay.
big spiel about a movie I haven't seen.
Nah, man, fucking do it. Like it.
Mm.
I feel like for myself, one of my favorite games of all time have been the BioShock games.
Yeah.
The
So good.
BioShock games
So
are
good.
fucking phenomenal. Like I remember BioShock Infinite. Like really, just almost changed like my mindset of how I think about things. Like moving forward, of just it really hit home for me. I was like,
You were
wow.
like, are we falling in a time loop?
Yeah,
so
I
that
was
it's
like-
we're like, wait, spoilers.
How many years did that come out? How many years ago?
Like
That-
10?
oh,
like at least 10,
yeah.
like 2014, right?
Yeah, it's been about 10 years, I'd say now, since BioShock Infinite came out. But now the guy who made it, Adam Levine or whatever, is doing like a new game that kind of looks like BioShock.
Yeah.
It just straight up looks like another BioShock, but it's like, it'll be cool to see anyways.
In the first game, the guy was always asking for a favor, right? He's like, "Do me a favor." Right?
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly, right?
Yeah.
I find myself doing that with people where I'm like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" And then I just say it all the time.
Twist and murder them.
I've always felt like Frankie could be a sleeper agent. Like
You think
deep
so?
down. It's like somewhere there.
Mike's a sleeper agent. For sure.
It's the jersey that gave it away. Right?
Chillest person you know is like they're gonna turn around someday.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Watch your back.
Yeah. I don't know. Dylan, what's your desert island?
Yeah, I'm a big From Software guy. So like
Hell
I'd say
yeah.
Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne for
Oh my
sure.
god, the hardest
but-
games in the world.
I know. I bought Bloodborne randomly. It was like on sale at GameStop and I had no idea what it was. I was like, oh, I'll try this out. And I just played it for like a month straight. It's the best game ever.
Hell yeah.
But as soon as I get back from this tour, I'm going to play the Elden Ring DLC. So if that slaps, maybe I'll
Did you
pick
kill
that.
Mahogi yet?
I did. Oh, I killed it. I beat his ass.
Slaughtered, bro.
Is it Magi or Mahogi? I've never played the games. I've just somehow in touch with the gamer world.
I see some gameplays and videos. When I can't beat them,
it's
I'm
kinda
like somebody
hard.
else
Like,
will.
if you know anything about video games, you're gonna hear about like the Dark Souls and the Bloodborns, and
right.
Elden Ring especially.
Souls likes go crazy.
Yeah.
They go crazy. We should put some Souls references in our music.
It's
Well,
tough
one
to
of us
play.
has to
Like,
finish the game.
I couldn't start the game because it was too hard. That is my life.
Say what you
I
want.
just started playing Elden Ring, and Elden Ring's been fucking phenomenal. Like I'm about like 40 hours into it. I'm like, I feel like I barely scratched the surface.
yeah, where are you at 40 hours in? Do you know like what
what the
area?
fuck?
Can we just talk about Elden Ring?
Yeah, fuck it. I don't get. Yeah,
Fuck it.
fucking. I just passed a CO for a well. So I went
Okay.
throughout the entire CO for a well, and now I'm like wherever the fuck it's called, the Liam's grave or whatever.
Oh
Where
yeah.
where that huge ass fucking bird thing with the cipher or whatever
Oh,
is like
yeah.
chilling at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that guy looks like someone I'm gonna fight later. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
back another day.
Yeah, that game like never ends. You think it's about to end and then it just keeps going.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But it's like sick, you know.
I feel like for me, one of the reasons why I love it so much so far is that it reminds me of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Where
for
like
sure.
with
Oh, so good.
yeah, because like with Breath of the Wild, there's so much discovery and like the Great Plateau is like, you know, one of the best like introductions in any game. And it's like the first castle in Elden Ring where you fight Godric
Mhm.
is essentially the Great Plateau.
Literally, yeah.
And it's just once you get past that, the rest of the game just opens up and it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, as soon as I played it, I was like, this is Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls, and those are two of my favorite games. So this is like the perfect game, yeah.
I didn't expect to fall in love with it the way I did. The reason why I started playing it was because I was tripping balls while my cousin was playing it. And like I was just watching him play. I'm like, this looks insane. This looks wild. Like, especially especially when he would open the map. For some reason, the map looked insane to me. Like every time he would look around the map, I'd be like, "Whoa! Like, look at that! Can you go over there, man?" And that motivated me. I was like, you know what? Let me play this shit. Let me see what this is about. It's been so good.
I don't like Tears of Kingdom. I thought that shit was ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. The new Zelda.
I still didn't finish
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
People
I thought
don't
it was
like
okay.
I thought that game was like popular.
That was alright.
People were hyped about it when it came out.
Yeah.
I feel like that lacks sauce. The sauce you were referring to earlier, that's what it didn't have.
But I
you
mean,
know?
it's hard to follow up.
Mhm.
Right.
Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
You can
100%.
craft in that game.
That's never a good sign.
The sauce. You can make a sauce for your pasta in Zelda.
You can.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I never played those Zelda games, but I remember my brother had a lot of opinions about it.
Nice.
He said he liked Breath of the Wild, but he felt like what Tears of the Kingdom did better was that Breath of the Wild felt too empty. Like you were just running from point to point. There was like nothing in between.
Right.
And that Tears of the Kingdom kind of fixed that.
Fills in the
Okay.
gaps almost.
Fills in gaps, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But again, like I didn't play either of them. If I had to like have a desert island game, I think it'd be like a Forza game.
Hell yeah.
Or like a Gran Turismo or
Or that
something.
mad lines.
Yeah, I got mad lines.
Do you got the racing wheel?
I don't have the racing wheel. I just fucking do mouse and keyboard because I'm poor.
Oh my god, mouse and keyboard in a racing game?
If you come to this,
Hey, I come up first. You know what? The difference is like
He said he got skills. Shut up.
bro,
mouse and keyboard doesn't matter because everybody else on those games sucks.
That's
They're all slow and they're bad.
look, if you come to this show and we make enough money on this tour, we'll buy Cooper's.
Go fund me right now.
If we get enough, I'm gonna get a nice racing wheel.
Nice.
What, driving the tour van isn't enough?
It does feel kind of like
He drives with
Playing a
a
racing.
keyboard.
keyboard and mouse, baby.
I can imagine like a cat in the hat situation where like you guys like just share the wheel, like just spinning the wheel down the dashboard and shit. Just like, no, you drive, you do it. But so do you only one of you guys drive or do you guys split the drive?
usually
We
Like,
split the
up.
drives,
No.
but I think Cora and I do the most
Okay.
active driving.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cora and Cooper are the cracked drivers.
Yeah.
I would disagree. I feel like I do just amount of driving.
That
as
is
like
a
Cooper
complete
does.
and blatant.
Trying to live in a podcast.
So much fucking driving on the last tour.
Yeah,
we
on the
all
last-
did.
I don't know. Did you like keep a time chart? We were on the road for 6 weeks.
That's
Low key.
calculated. I haven't gotten a chance to drive on this tour because I'm always in the Summer Brews car.
Yeah, I've done a lot of driving, but that's also because we brought my car.
nice.
So
Damn, putting a lot of miles on that bad boy.
Cora won't let
Yeah.
you drive.
I don't know.
You wanna-
It's actually this month is my last lease payment on my car.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations.
own that.
Hell yeah.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Let's go, Rachel.
Go.
We have
How
to get we should probably get like oil change.
Oh yeah, we've been eating one of them.
Well, the little sticker that you
We
put
do oil
on,
changes
'cause
after
you
the
did
show.
The last oil
Yeah.
change says 71.
Oil change on us.
600. Yeah.
It said 800
Oh, okay.
on it, and we just
Do you like
got
these?
to 71,800 driving like here last night. So
Okay.
we do need it to get done.
Hell yeah.
It's always something with one of them cars.
Yeah.
Get
Oh, yeah.
comfy, dog.
Yeah.
Rachel needs her juice. What can I say?
I could only narrow my games down to 3.
Okay.
Which is Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Eternal Darkness for the GameCube.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
And The Beginner's Guide, which is a PC game by the person who made Stanley Parable.
Oh, I played Stanley Parable, but I didn't know he made another game after
Yeah, The Beginner's Guide is kind of like a commentary on the creation of art and the interpretation of art and the artist. And
Ah.
as a creative, I think it is the biggest must-play game I could ever recommend to
That's very interesting.
Interesting.
it really changed the way that I view both media I consume and things that I create.
Cora
Nice.
and I
Highly
did like a
recommend.
little let's play of that game when we were making the record. We like got done for the day, went to where we were staying, and we were watching some kittens for
Nice.
these people in Philly. And then when we were done taking care of them, we sat down together and just played through that game in one night.
That's
Hell yeah.
awesome.
Great segue. Bring it back to the record.
Also, Inscription is crazy. If you haven't played
Inscription?
Yeah, it's another PC game. It's also a card
It's
game.
like
it's
a
crazy.
it's a
Hell yeah.
horror deck builder
Mhm.
kind of thing. But
yeah. can't say too much or it'll spoil the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like no
There's a
spoilers.
lot of
I'm happy about
mystery
no
in there.
spoilers.
It's a lot of like,
Yeah.
mystery.
I mean,
A lot of mystery.
I was curious because like with Rat Fortress, that's a pretty like intense song of talking about like nihilism and like, you know, just like doom and everything, and just like we're talking about just I wanted to get down of like, what do you guys think of, you're talking about art, I want to get down to what you think of like the tortured artists, like like
we're tortured.
yeah. So I'm curious about that because, you know, considering that you guys are like an emo band and or whatever you want to classify yourselves as, is just I've always been curious about that because I was with someone who had someone in their class, in a memoir class, talk about how their biggest struggle was not having struggle. And I thought that was really interesting because it's like, is that really a struggle then to not have struggle?
Or are you like not looking inward on yourself and like identifying?
But I mean, in like the general, both today's society and the expectation of content creation, there is an underlying pressure to have something to say all the time.
Right.
And for someone who hasn't had a lot of personal experience, it's hard to generate things to say.
Right.
Rather that's not just regurgitating what someone else said.
No, of course. I mean, I think what's interesting and cool about what the show that we do here is because like we've been doing it since 2021 now, so about 3 years, and like we look back at our old episodes and we're like, we were chatting.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like,
the first time we spoke on here, it was the funniest thing. We were like, all right, ready, we got all the equipment. We sat down, we're like, all right, yeah, so how you doing? Like, I'm doing good. How about you? All right. And then I told her, like, we gotta scrap the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. So I like, you know, regardless of how you might feel today, it'll definitely change. But I think that's just kind of like what life is. Like your opinions are always going to change. Because personally, for me, I've always gone back and forth with that of like, you know, I don't know if you need to have like the most shittiest life to make the best art, but then it's also like you do look at some of the best art and it is made by the people that have the shittiest lives.
Well, you look at Saltburn as like an example of like
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's like a shallow movie about classism because the person who wrote it is a shallow person who's really rich. So it's like, I don't know, like some of the best art can come out of, I'm not saying rich people can't make art and like rich people don't struggle. And I'm not saying like people who don't struggle can't make art. I'm just saying there is something to like even the tiniest struggles you have can create. I mean, we wrote a fucking song about doing the dishes. So it's like you can make something out of whatever you have and looking inward on yourself and your self-critique. I mean, I think as a band, we're a band that is like heavily, at least I am, and I won't speak for Cora, but like very like self-critical about ourselves and the art we make, and that creates its own struggle and makes things even harder.
Yeah.
I hear a lot about like comedians. A lot of them were bullied when they were younger. A lot of them were like went through a lot of hardships, whether it be like financial or like personal, families. Everything. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like it goes back to like they go out on stage and laugh. Like they make people laugh for a living. And some of them, and then a lot of them go down dark paths where they end their life and this and that, or like drug overdose. So it's incredible to overcome that. And I think overcoming that and trying to share, or to spread joy or entertainment to other people. Yeah. It's I mean, that in itself has to be hard because I imagine
it's almost an addiction.
Yeah,
especially comedy. From what I hear about it, I mean, the way I feel about shows and stuff, it does feel like an addiction. Like people ask me all the time, like, "What do you drink? What do you smoke?" I'm like, I don't do any of that shit, but I do fucking perform and like to make people laugh and like strive for attention because like that's what makes me feel good.
Yeah,
right.
Even when I'm not on stage and not performing or like making someone laugh, it's like the worst I ever feel in my life. And you're always like fighting for those highs.
It takes a very specific life experience to crave validation externally on a stage.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, it's like I grew up in a family where I was like the middle child and my parents were like always fighting and my siblings were always trying to be louder. And so like
you want to
you want to stand out.
Yeah.
And you hear that from like a lot of comedians and musicians.
Yes.
Like they're raised in an environment where they have to stand out but in their family and their life and that breeds people like us who are kind of probably like egotistical and stuff.
I think it comes with it though. You have to do it, but channel it in a way where it's like done in your own style and then
healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
And not looking for attention in the wrong places.
Have you guys ever like performed and bombed?
all the time. All the time.
How was that like?
We have like a
I bombed last night.
Actually, like a few times on the story.
Yeah.
I have
How'd it
a
go?
very particular sense of humor
Okay.
where we find it more funny that we just make each other laugh or reference things that only we know about, which in turn makes the crowd uncomfortable, which works really well now that people like kind of get it, and that's like the vibe of our band.
Right.
We like this like dry, like Nathan for U.S. kind of the joke isn't readily apparent to the people hearing the joke kind of humor. Which is hilarious to us the entire time. But when we were playing to like 8 people who didn't know our band, we would like say like 3 jokes and then it'd be silent and then we'd be like, we're just not gonna start the song for a minute and a half until someone laughs. And then we just sit there. It was great.
Yeah, it's just stuff like, yeah, it's like that. And like, yeah, of course we bomb. Like, we're still a young and growing band. Like, I'm sure some people see us as like, this is a seasoned band. But like, you know, some of the best comedians don't get the spotlight until like 10, 12, 20 years into their like career.
And even then, you know, even
Even
then.
then. So it's like, I don't know. We're still like, we just did a crazy huge tour. We're playing to like 500, 600 people. And now we're playing to like 20 people again in basements and stuff. And so it's like, of course, whatever definition of bombing you want to say, but like, of course, like it's an up and down battle. And I'm often telling like young musicians, like these are the best times is when you're like not succeeding and you're learning and growing from that.
When we spoke about Green Day, there was shows that they would do that was in front of like 7 people, 8 people. And I forgot who was commenting on them, but they were like, the way they performed in front of these 7 people was the way you would expect them to perform in front of like a stadium.
I mean,
and it's incredible. It was,
that's how we do it.
Yeah,
that's how we've always
That's so
done
cool,
it.
you know, like that confidence and that, you know, because it's your music, you know, it's like that's what you're expressing.
Exactly. Yeah. To me, it's never like come from like a comparison between like an audience size or like who is in the audience or anything. It's just like getting up there and doing this is what I like to do, and I like to do it the specific way that I do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm gonna do every time.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
gonna change it because I like
If the only person
feel some way.
if the only person at the show is the sound guy, you know damn well we're performing because
The sound guy's gonna
100%
get
for the sound
He's
guy.
gonna have a blast, bro.
Like, I don't know, my philosophy has always been if there's one person at the show, if there's 100 people at the show, we're gonna play the best we can, and at least one person is gonna walk away being like, that was cool.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of dreaming, following your dreams, you know, even though it's very, to some people, you know, the older they get, the more cliche and unrealistic it is, like having a dream, even though it's kind of like contradictive, you know, dream and realistic. But I think it's important. I was talking to somebody very young the other day, he's like 15, and the outlook was very negative, you know, and of course, a teenager, so it's like, you know, they're there. But it was just conversations about religion and this and that, and how like religion is terrible, people are terrible, money is so bad, and this and that. And then I was just like, yeah, but also like maybe religion can do good things for people, or maybe, you know, money, like you use it for good ways to use it, you know, and just it was hard to just like have a rebuttal with him because I didn't want to go so strongly at it and just be like, no, you're this, but I wanted to just be almost like give him a hug, you know, like, yo, just like relax, like don't worry about these things too much because later on, like you're going to realize like you can mediate those feelings and have a much more thorough understanding of what you're really trying to say. And I think at the core of it, everybody should have a dream to follow. And that's why, like, man, I'm telling you, it's incredible to be talking with you guys. Because, you know, like, you know, even before you got here, I told Javi, we just sitting here casually. I'm like, damn, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little, because, you know, it's just like, we're not just talking to a band, we're talking to people who are following their dreams and like being successful at it, you know? I mean, and it's really inspiring.
Don't get me wrong, there are days where I'm like, we're on tour and I'm like, oh, do I want to do this?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
This fucking sucks, but I don't know. It's that hunger. I mean, we didn't play a show for like a month and a half, and I feel like I get angry.
Angst, right?
Like, I don't know, like I get hangry. And it's like weird. I'm just like ready to perform again.
Yeah. Well, it's better than sleeping in a bathroom at a hotel at 6 a.m.
It's pretty on par. It's interesting.
We do the same
I'm
thing.
in the service industry too, and I go home and I go in there and I'm like, I could be on the fucking road right now.
Yeah, but even the road's like hard. Or what were you gonna say?
Yeah, the road's hard, but like there's like something I'm striving to. You know?
Yeah, there's a goal in mind, but even then, like we're like squatting at someone's house or like sleeping in the van or like barely eating. You know.
But we got mac and cheese right here if you want some.
Oh,
mac and cheese.
Yeah, I got mac and cheese.
I'm getting a chopped cheese after this. I'm so stoked.
Hell yeah, get that chopped cheese,
And I
man.
got some dumplings.
Ooh, where'd you get some
that's
dumplings at?
The yumplings.
Oh, right here.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my god, bro! I get their cute. What's it like? Egg, something like eggplant, basil, something with rice.
It was, those dumplings
So good.
were so goddamn good.
I work at a Korean spot up here. Actually, the
Yeah.
food's
Oh,
delicious. Yeah, you should
Oh,
go
yeah,
a little.
hook us up.
Next time you're back in the show.
It's after like doing your dream and like following your dream and like we're doing that, and then
Good.
but there's also like there is a balance of like you have to follow your dream, but you also have to like live a healthy life and like
Yes.
take care
Right.
of yourself and your family
Yeah.
and like I don't know, it's easy to like put one ahead of the other sometimes, and
Mhm.
I don't know. There are times. I mean, the reason why this record came out is like we need to take care of ourselves. Like
Yeah.
it's so late, and we need to focus on ourselves. And yeah,
I think the friendship aspect of everything was what really got to me also, because I feel like listening to the music, like you're doing it with your friends, you know, it's so crucial to be doing that with people you love, you know, and there's a line, I have it written down here, but I don't want to reference my computer too much, but it's like your friend isn't your enemy, you know, they're the part that you're missing, something like that. It was, you know, there was a point in my life, I had a friend that, like, you know, he was very close to me, and then I felt myself just kind of pushing away and getting so angry, and I was like, why am I doing this? And then, you know, like, you can't do that with those people. But there's some people who aren't there for you, really. You know, there's some people who are kind of there, but they're absent when you need them the most.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't, you know, I imagine, like, with you guys, this really strong bond
Yeah.
that carries you forward. And that's cool, man.
Well,
Yeah.
back to like your
Mhm.
short film you made where you like cast your coworkers. It's like
He was
when
part
you-
of it.
when you're like collaborating in
Yeah.
art, you need to find people who have like the same
Hell yeah.
dreams and goals in mind. I think
Mhm.
you know we struggle a little bit on like aligning ourselves, but I think for the most part we do this because we want to have fun and
Yeah.
we want to change the world through our music. It's not. I don't think it's ever been about like
Mhm.
making money and fame. At least for not entirely for me. You know, sometimes you want a little cash, like
Of
get to
course.
the city. But like it's like I want to make someone's night. I want to like
Yeah.
change someone's life. I want our
Yeah.
music to affect someone and like so they don't feel so alone.
Yeah.
And I want to have fun doing it. Like the second it's not fun, like we'll probably reevaluate.
Right.
Yeah. Concerts do that for sure. We went to go see Danny Brown. He never seen Danny Brown before.
Yeah,
We
we
Yeah,
played-
I've never seen
Danny
Danny
Brown's
Brown.
fucking
Yeah,
awesome,
we
bro.
actually- we
Yeah,
played
man.
next to
On the
Danny
last
Brown.
tour.
Oh, get
Wow.
out.
Dylan saw Danny Brown backstage.
What?
Yeah.
The
Because
masquerade in Atlanta. We were playing the same night. It's like this.
It's three venues next to
three
each other.
What?
Actually, 4 venues now.
Oh, it's
What
four.
the
It's
fuck?
4 venues next to each other. It's like heaven, hell, and limbo and shit like
Oh.
that. Purgatory. And then we were playing hell. Uh,
We were playing Hell, which is like
and
the
then
medium
Danny Brown was
sound
playing heaven the same night.
That's
the big
so
And we-
cool.
we straight up, like I was watching them put up all the gear on the stage and like everything. And, like, yeah.
When
yeah.
he came on stage, we were watching the show beforehand, and then he pulled out a joint, and I took a pull. And I used to smoke so much, now so little, so I took a pull, and he's having a blast, and I'm like legit the whole show. Just admiring Danny Brown.
that was my
it was incredible.
Yeah.
I was
That
like,
was
no
my
fucking
first-
way. I'm facing the wrong way. Just like, but it was so fucking cool.
That was my first rap show that I had ever gone to, so I was really appreciative and had no idea what I was getting myself into.
yeah.
And like I got so into it, I'm like moshing, having a great ass time, bouncing around. I look over at Frankie. I'm like, yeah, this guy's gone.
I was the
This
same
guy's
way.
like-
With Lupe Fiasco when he did Food and Liquor and somewhere in Brooklyn. But yeah, I mean, the concerts changed your life because he took me to go see Turnstile.
yeah.
Bro, what? That shit was fucking
Was
insane.
this like off the release of Glow On?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
God.
And it was raining. He was tripping. I was just high as fuck
Yeah.
again.
Damn, y'all fucking drugs.
But oh my God, everybody was pushing. Usually I get in like, you know, everybody. But now I was just, because they were performing incredible. The album was like perfect, you know? And yeah, it was so good. And having the rain was just a little extra boost. You know, it was cool. So those shows are awesome. You know?
Yeah.
like playing live. Like, what's your favorite and worst thing? Like going on tour and stuff. Like, what's something that like you dread, and another thing you're like, this is the thing that I do this for.
I mean, every time you play this show, Chipotle is my favorite part of the tour.
Hell yeah.
That's
my
an
dread.
absolute
Wait,
favorite
what's your
part.
order? What's your order?
But no, yeah, I feel like every time I haven't toured as much as them, I've joined later, but every time we start to go on tour, I get really like nervous and anxious and just like, I don't know, beforehand, and I get a little homesick. But then every time you like get to the show and you start playing, then it's like, well, that's the best feeling ever.
Hell yeah.
So everything else doesn't matter. But then like it's the in-between times where just like, you know, you miss your partner or just your bed and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say
Right.
that's the hardest part.
Okay.
But when you get to rock and roll, it's kind of it's worth it.
It's like yesterday. My morale was so low yesterday. This tour's been a weird one for us. It was booked like last minute. So but these shows have been something else, and especially coming off like a bigger show or a bigger tour, and so it's like, you know, we're headlining these shows, and like it. My morale gets so low when I get to the venue, and it's like not what I expected, and like things aren't living up to my expectations. And then we get on stage, and you start to see like the 3 people who showed up for you, like singing every lyric word for word. Like it's like, oh, okay, this is why it's worth it. Like this is why they're doing this. Like fuck the weird like mental crisis I'm having before the shows. Like it really is like the second you get on stage, you see someone like smile or like move a little bit. Like that's really what does it.
No, it just melts away from there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I kind of feel like the black sheep in the band a lot of the time, because I'm kind of just a hermit who doesn't really like to go outside and do things. And going on tour is a pretty difficult feat. I mean, I love traveling, and I love sleeping in cars and doing weird ass shit.
Nice.
But interacting with people is, I mean, I have major depression, and it's just hard to do things so much of the time.
Right.
But my like favorite thing is that I get to see bands. Music is the reason that I'm still here and still alive, and the opportunity to see people passionate about what they're doing and hearing songs that I never would have heard if I wasn't in this random basement in Michigan, and seeing these people so excited about what they're making is why I'm doing it. It really fuels me to have the confidence to share the things that I make, and to continue making things. I joke about it a lot of the time, but the idea of, I started a band so I could get a bunch of free tickets to concerts.
Hell yeah.
Is ultimately pretty true, because we had the opportunity to play with a shit ton of bands that I really looked up to and really loved, and the opportunity not only to be able to get into these shows and see them consistently day in and day out, but also the fact that they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, your songs are cool." I'm like,
Getting recognized is kind of fucking rad.
But I guess that happens to me when I'm around you guys, but not much on my own. I think to Cora's point about like seeing other bands, for me, like that comes out a lot when we go to play festivals and stuff. And it's like equally like uplifting and surprising when we have our time slot on a festival and those rooms are like fucking packed. And it's so cool to see that, like, even though there's these other incredible acts like around us, like people are still choosing to come and be at the front for us, you know.
For sure.
And that's like, really cool too.
It's weird. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm getting to a point. I used to work at the Lego store. They gave you a 50% discount on
Nice.
So I was buying Legos like all the fucking time. I left the Lego store. I don't buy Legos anymore because like why buy Legos when you got them for 50% off? I struggle going to shows that we aren't playing because why would I pay for a ticket when I get to play the shows?
Well, the other thing is like
that sounds crazy.
You know,
I'll pay for a ticket to support bands.
Yeah,
It's really hard for me to justify it since I get to go to shows for free and like festivals for free.
You don't get a guest list slot.
Yeah, if you get
also I get guest lists.
We get guest list slots now, which is nice.
As if we we just know the bands.
We just know like the bands or like the people who are managing the tour or whatever. And so, you know, instead we go buy some merch or something, or like get people food after, or have a place for them to stay overnight or something like that. Which is, you know, just try and be helpful in those ways. But I'm kind of like at shows, I'm usually a little bit of the opposite of Cora, where I kind of am like a little social butterfly with a lot of the fans and stuff. And I like to talk to a lot of the people around there and talk about like what it's like being in this as like a industry, I guess, at our level, or just talking about like the community of the other artists around us, who inspire us, and kind of like how we came up in this. So.
I feel like for myself, like, you know, I talk to Frank about it all the time, and I always appreciate him for always being there for me, where I go through many like mental health issues as well, and Frankie's always there having my back with that type of stuff. And it can be a very challenging thing where it's like a part of you doesn't want to do it, but you want to do it so bad. And it's like I always think about the quote from BoJack, which you guys also reference at some point.
He loves BoJack, man.
Yeah, we love BoJack.
I fucking love BoJack, but I
strong word.
To the,
Man's of pedophile.
well, I don't love BoJack the person,
Right.
the horse,
Right.
I love
The
show.
horse.
the horse.
But I always think about that quote in season 2 with the guy who's running,
Yeah.
and like he just
Yeah.
leans over BoJack and he's like, "Hey, you know, it's hard. Like you got to do it every day, though. That's the hard part. Like, it just gets a little bit easier." And
I
it's
used
just
to have that quote on as like a phone background.
Nice.
picture.
hell yeah.
So
But I think about that all the time because you know it is hard, but you got to take it day by day, just little by little, and just do what you can. And that's honestly to me one of the most inspiring things when I go to shows now, because I see a lot of like smaller upcoming bands and things of that nature, and I see these people on stage. I'm like, you guys are like my age or like younger than me, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's like fucking sick. And it's like, you know, I feel like there are other people who would look at that and be like, damn, what am I doing with my life?
Mhm.
But I look at it more so as just like, that's inspiring. I see that and it motivates me and keeps me going. But so I appreciate you guys insanely. You guys are fucking
I
awesome.
mean, you can do whatever you want. Like, this is your life, dog.
Yeah.
Like, as
Hell
long
yeah.
as you put in the work and time and meet the right people. Like, well, I don't know, meet the right people. Just like be a kind person.
Yeah.
You'll get what you want eventually.
well, one of the things like when we're on stage and in front of a lot of people, we're like talking about between a song like how big this scene has been for us, and it's like we want people to come out of it like with a positive outlook and like inspired to do something. So we're like, yeah, we really hope that some of you out there start your own bands. Like,
Yeah.
And or just like go do whatever, produce art or do what you want to do. Like
just do it.
Yeah.
Like just actually just start what you
try. Yeah, just
Yeah.
try.
I think with like social media today and everything and so much eyes on you, I feel sometimes it could be very difficult when you do make that effort to start a band, like off the rip. And then say you post your video on YouTube or something, and then you get that one person that comments like, "Oh, this sucks," and then like it immediately halts that whole process or that momentum.
Ignore them,
Yeah,
dude. They're just
it's-
jealous.
Yeah, for sure.
I think what's
Yeah.
hard for me is seeing like TikTok and like Reels now.
Yeah.
Like every artist striving for the same thing in the same way.
Yeah.
And doing it in almost a mediocre way
Mhm.
is like almost more terrifying to me than like not trying it all.
It's
Wow.
tough to remember that, like, no matter what you're making, you're gonna have to be bad at it for a fucking while
Yes.
before
Yeah.
you like
Yes.
figure out what works for you.
It's
Right.
a numbers game, and like seeing people being bad at it in public, and like growing in the public eye is fucking nuts. Like there's music that we've made that no one will ever hear
Mhm.
because we didn't want to share it. Like we weren't ready to like share it to the world. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, I mean, Frankie already said, but we scrapped the first episode that we
Yeah.
ever did. We said, fuck that. That's not seeing the light of day.
Yeah.
There's modesty in being humble about your art instead
Yeah.
of like promoting something that is objectively terrible as if it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's like something that is really like hard to watch on the internet and like really demoralizes me.
Yeah.
Seeing so many artists like doing the same thing and like trying to be successful at it without like developing new ideas and like grow, it feels dystopian.
Yeah.
Just all to strive to like make content for like this gross machine.
There was an artist I saw on the train. He was playing guitar. He was incredible. It was like the nicest voice I ever heard in my life, like on the train. Usually, because from New York City, you hear somebody come on the train, like more often than not, you're just like, all right, you know, because it's New York City, you know? But because it happens all the time. But he was incredible. Like so much, like I was on my phone and he started singing and I was like, what is this? So like, I was like, what? And then I saw the name on his guitar. And he's still very talented, I would say. But I think he very much, I don't want to say his name because he fell into that area of like, I don't know, like he was starting to sell like likes, you know, and thinking that. And I'm like, what is happening? Because he did a sing along with kids on the train. And everybody was singing with him. And now he seems more a little corporate and not really like seem like bot followers. I think so. And I'm like, man, like, I mean, of course you got to make a living. You got to make some money. And I understand completely. Yeah. But I wish I would hear more of just like that guy in the train that I saw a couple years ago. Cause I'm telling you, it made my head like just, you know, like it was so nice.
It's just
And,
like
yeah.
some people just like they have this like thirst for a level of success and like financial freedom, obviously, but they kind of like lose what their charm was in the process of that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like skipping steps. I don't think it's bad to go online and post about your music and like post your photos, your short films.
Yeah.
But you have to like know what you're doing and like grow. And I don't think like you see a lot of I get these like, I'm a photographer, I do this is my camera, here's my photos.
Yeah.
And then it's like a photo of a dude walking across the street that I've now seen like 1,000 million times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what? I feel like they're not looking into like what they are trying to make. Like, why are you making art? Why do you want to be a photography? What are you trying to tell? What is your narrative?
Yeah.
What's your take on photos instead of just trying to mimic everyone around you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's demoralizing when you scroll and it's the same fucking like 30,000 photography accounts, 30,000 artists like making the same song. There's this one artist that keeps popping up, who's like, I made the song in the summer, and they just keep posting like the same chorus over and over again of like this song that's like poorly produced and poorly performed. And I'm like, I'm not saying they can't make music and they can't do it, but I read a comment that was like, this dude or this person is being famous before they got like pretending to be famous before they got famous, like acting like there's no growth and just nothing to say.
That's a lot today.
Yeah.
So people were taking pictures in private jets and they're like, well, listen, I made it, but it's like, no, you rented that for $12,000.
Yeah. It's like,
I think there's like a way to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But I think if you don't like understand what you're doing when you're faking it till you make it, like it's pretty easy for people to see through it.
It's just hard to see like people with potential kind of shooting themselves in the foot by releasing things that are subpar, and like acting like it's not. I think there is something to being confident about your art. I'm not saying we're the best artists in the world.
Of course,
we make good art. We reach a certain audience. That's fine. But there is something about like people out there who are like, hit record on FL Studio. Don't do anything to their vocals. Yeah. Record a track that's like barely in time, and then put that out with like AI art. It's like, listen to my new track next Thursday. This is a song of the summer. This is everything. Make me famous.
I don't know if it was how
the work. You gotta grind. You gotta learn. You gotta grow. You gotta educate yourself on what you're doing.
Yeah,
the steps that you were saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Tyler the Creator, but he said, I hate wasted potential.
Yeah.
One of somebody like that. And I think it's that shit hit me because I feel like I'm a little lazy sometimes. But you got to go to work. You have to, and I always felt like when it came to either making anything, my biggest goal was to like I've told Javi this before, like I don't want to sell to my friends and family. Like I don't want like if I make something or I put out a movie or I make this show, like it's great to have the support of my friends, but they were kind of going to give it to me anyway. In some extent, I want strangers to like, I want this to impact strangers.
Yeah.
Like I want somebody who I've never met before and like genuinely like what they're listening to. Yeah.
We've reached that point where we're impacting strangers.
Yeah.
And like the beauty, like I think a lot of people look at like social media and TikTok and stuff as like a fast forward button on their career. And they're not seeing the work that like artists are actually putting in behind the scenes. And like the beauty of social media now is like, you guys did it. You can just send us a DM. Yeah. Be like, wow, I like your shit. And like we get that all the time. And it's the best feeling, or it's not the best feeling, but it's a great feeling to know that you've like affected someone enough for them to like want to reach out and like meet a stranger and like give their opinion about your music.
For sure.
Generally in a positive way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for myself, even to that, like I talk to Frankie a lot about like potential and like what people can and can't do. And I think kind of what you were saying before of, fake it till you make it, there's a sort of healthy line to that. There's always like a balance to that. And a little bit of ego can take you a long way. But it's always just keeping it in check. It's always just making sure that you don't push it too far and just like, you know yourself at the end of the day. And like, you just aren't going to compromise yourself for a paycheck or something like that. And that's just happening more and more as like Meta becomes bigger and bigger and like things like that. Like they I don't know if you guys knew how like, I'm sure you guys probably noticed about how like reels are like way more prevalent or like way more seriously taken now on Instagram than like posts are.
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that where it's just like, and now TikTok is like doing the reverse where it's like they're bringing in posts. And so that's going to take the world by storm. And so it's just,
who knows what's going to like really happen if like the TikTok ban thing goes through. But, but like I've been watching Instagram Reels for a while too. I don't know. A lot of these social media sites, like they just copy each other.
Of course.
Anyway, like if one new thing comes out, like everybody's gonna have something that's like pretty close to the same thing.
Right. And so
how the streaming wars just became cable again.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
Just
much.
like full circle.
like
And like how like when like Instagram stories came out or something or whatever, like Facebook had their stories before they conglomerated, and then Twitter had like Twitter stories and like all that shit. Like
Yeah.
everything's just gonna become the same thing.
We all want the same thing. It's like Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. You know, you got Chipotle, Qdoba. You know, you know, Nike, Reebok, everything.
Except Qdoba's got free guac. I don't get why you eat Chipotle when Qdoba's got free guac.
Because I don't eat guac.
And free queso. I do like Qdoba, but you know.
Yeah, free queso is a pretty big deal to me.
All right, circle back to the album.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, the art.
We have like probably like 15 minutes.
Okay,
cool.
Got you. I was gonna say this. The artwork is cool as fuck. I just want to.
Oh yeah.
Who did the artwork?
Shout out Mammal Friend and / Mammal Acquaintance. They're like on Twitter. They're like pretty popular on there. They're from New York, I think.
Oh, nice.
We reached out to them like a few years ago. They did like a poster we did for the Konami Code album release or vinyl release. Yeah, we
had
cool.
them work on like some merch stuff for us for a while, just like different miscellaneous things we needed for art, and they've always produced such high quality stuff for us.
Hell
We
yeah.
were like, you know, let's just go back to them for this record, and then they came out with this, and I was immediately like,
Yeah.
I
It's so
fell in
cool.
love so quickly with it.
Yeah, I think I sent them like I just had like the idea one day. I was like a car crashing into like a field. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
They were like,
I drew up a sketch that was like a little different than what they did, and what they sent back was like I was like, all right, this
Yeah.
is it.
Hell yeah.
I looked at that and I'm like, well, this is like as cool as like the Akira kind of like
That's
explosion thing.
that
It's
was like one of the
that's like one of the direct references
Yeah.
too, but like I wasn't involved in those
Mhm.
conversations or anything, so when I saw it I'm like the same feeling I got when I first saw like that still of the explosion in Akira, and I got that same feeling from this.
Nice. I feel like for me, besides P Daddy Hoodie, my favorite song off the album would probably have to be Jet Set Radio. There's just something about that song that just really gets me, even from the title alone. And that song is just, well, even that's the one that starts with the 1, 2, 3, right? The what game is that from? I couldn't.
Mario Kart.
That's Mario Kart.
I know that
Okay.
reference.
And it's just it's such a fun song.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking sick. And like the way that you guys use your samples to like in between songs and start off songs is so fun and cool. Like it makes me think a lot about like the Gami Gang album and like how they do that a lot in their album too. And
it's like an emo staple to like have samples in your music.
Yeah.
right.
There was a trend on TikTok where people were just like
Midwest intros.
emo intros, and then be
Yeah.
like Rick and Mordecai and Rigby talking.
Yeah.
I see some now where I'm like, that's not Midwest emo. Like you're just making a cool build over it.
We're friends with them, but also I'm really heavily influenced by the work of Guitar Fight from Fooly Cooley,
Nice.
a band out of Tennessee. And I really loved the way that they used samples on both their self-titled and their second album, Soak.
Okay.
So it really influenced me stepping up my game on sample placement for this upcoming record, because we had some in Konami Code, which I try to be not super overbearing about them, because I like a lot of media, so it's very easy for me to oversample, and I try to use them intentionally and sparingly.
Okay.
Well, and those on Konami Code, I feel like were more of like an afterthought. I feel like we were like, we should put samples on the record, and then we kind of threw them on last minute. Where if we kind of did the same thing with
the
this.
exact same thing.
The entire process, we were like, we're putting samples on this record.
Okay.
Samples on this record.
Yeah.
I mean, even the sketches that we do in like Kevin Pickles, like those were there from the get go.
Nice. The sample with I'm forgetting what sample it is, but in
Yu-Gi-Oh?
between.
Was it?
I'm thinking in a Konami Code
Oh,
where,
my bad, sorry.
where they sample the sample that you guys use between Skirt Cobain and 86 Godzilla Sucks.
Yeah.
That sample, what is it?
It's a melee sound effect.
Melee sound effect.
Which one?
Yeah, that I love that sound effect so much in that sample, bleeding in between those two songs. And something that kills me every time is that when I play the record on vinyl, it doesn't catch that sample sound when it reaches at the end of the A side, and I'm like, it's not complete.
Holy shit! I don't have a vinyl player. I don't think I've ever listened to Konami Code on vinyl. That's crazy. I didn't know that. We'll fix that for repressing.
Konami Code's an
Nice.
interesting one because realistically we released it with no like particular fanfare, with like we just needed a record to be out so we could like start actively booking and touring. 'Cause, like,
Right.
Yeah,
goal
because
was
we
to, like,
wanted
tour.
to like go on tour and be like, and this is the record we have online. These are the songs on the record. Go listen to it online.
So yeah, in the process of writing and recording Konami Code, we were like, well, we're not gonna have to worry about a vinyl release. It's not gonna come up.
Whereas this Casually Crashing was like, I mean, we like, how are we gonna A side, B side it? You know, this was always gonna be a record pretty much from the get go.
Nice. And that's always something I think about, and what Frankie and I talk about when we cover different albums, like track placement and A side and B side, because that's something that Frankie wasn't too familiar with before we started talking about that type of stuff. And I think about that all the time, of like, because a lot of the times you get albums where it's like the A side is better than the B side, or the B side is like has those real like gems that are hidden that people aren't gonna get to because like they're not gonna get to the B side. And so I like, how was that for you guys, like having to figure out the placement of all these tracks and stuff?
I really enjoy doing like track listing personally. I make a lot of our set lists now because I enjoy putting them together in a way that I think kind of makes them, I don't know if like cinematic is the right word, but like having a purpose to a placement of everything.
Right.
So we had like a lot of different versions of the track listing of this record that we were going through. And then like, where does this fit? Where does that fit? I felt kind of scared that like people might not get to the last half, like the B side as easily, because we went with like Top Deck Jinzo, which nobody had heard before, and then we had all three of our singles in a row between Kevin Pickles' Made for Love and Everything Is Miserable. And I was like, is those sandwiched between two songs that didn't come out on the A side? Like, how is that going to affect like the listening experience? But I think in the end, like a lot of people are coming up and like their favorite songs are on B side.
Well, when you put all the songs that they've heard already on the front side, I feel like you just skip to the back, right?
I feel like the way that the record ended up being placed was that we aimed to have the more generally accessible songs on the front, and the more Arcadia Grey diehard fans on the B side. So it's really interesting because I think a lot more people are hearing the A side and a lot more people are connecting with the B side.
So a lot of our songs are written in the way that I'm like, these could be amazing like record openers. These could be amazing closers.
I think we discussed
it came perfectly for Hallie being like the last song and Top Deck Jinzo being the first song.
I think we like every song was like, this could be the opener.
This could be the opener.
I mean, I originally wanted Made for Love to be the opener.
Yeah.
P Daddy Hoodie to be the opener. Just like all those like.
And I think it's good. We went with like an opener that nobody had heard before.
Right.
And that's kind of like where the name Top Deck Jinzo came from, because I'm like, oh yeah, we're top deck.
Top deck,
like
hell yeah.
And that's a card game, I think, reference that anybody could really
You
understand.
can ask her
like,
about it.
Like that's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Yeah, it is a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. It was a name to another. I've done this a lot, both with Konami Code songs and this record. But I'll just have names that I think are dope that are from like a different song, and I'll be like, all right, well this song is dope, but I don't have a name for it. Let me just pull an old name from the demo folder.
Oh, okay.
And so I had a song that referenced Jinzo in it and called it Top Deck Jinzo, and then we were naming this track, and I was like, I need a name for this one.
The demo name for this song for the longest time was Chunk Light, because Cora like looked at a can of tuna.
If it could be referenced, we put in there.
My final name structures in my demos folder. It's abysmal, dog. I'll be looking around. I'm like, this is song C7.
When I'm like exporting photos and stuff, I'll just be like C. Like it has nothing to do, and then I'm like, where's that photo? I'm like, fuck, it's gone forever.
I'm like the opposite. I will be so organized with the way I like label my things, and when I upload clips for the podcast for Frankie, like there was one situation where we were trying to figure out a clip for our Mad Max episode. We were kind of having like a back and forth about it, and so when I finally uploaded the clip, I uploaded it as Mad Frankie.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yo, what Mad Max did you like all of them?
We primarily talked about Fury Road in preparation for Furiosa.
Did you like Furiosa?
I did.
Oh, it was so good.
Phenomenal.
It was so good.
I saw that movie.
I went to see it at IMAX, and I was just there like, that was the first time in a while where I was like laughing. I was like, and I was like, no fucking way. Like I was just having a blast the whole fucking time.
George Miller knows how to use the silver screen.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good.
Man, if you could somehow manage a time, it would be amazing if you guys could go to the IMAX theater that's here in Lincoln Square.
It's real nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, Nat, but
All right.
because you're the film guy. But the AMC theater at Lincoln Square has the biggest IMAX screen in the country.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's fucking.
Damn, all right.
Yeah. So that shit
It's
is
so
fucking.
crazy.
It's like Coliseum size. It's massive.
Our tickets $30.
They're like $27.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I love seeing IMAX, but like, and I do wish I saw Furiosa in IMAX. I'm so pissed because when we went on the Glass Beach tour, they had us in like strict COVID restrictions.
Oh, okay.
So we like had to quarantine before. And the 2-week period of quarantining before was when Dune fucking 2 came out.
Oh my, that was so
we
good.
seen Dune 2, and like by the time we got back, you know, it wasn't really, we didn't have the money and it wasn't worth seeing. And then it came on at HBO Max, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it on HBO.
Not
and
the same though.
That was the first movie I watched where I was like, fuck, dude, I wish I saw this I wish I broke quarantine and fucking solved it.
I saw that shit in theaters and I was just blown away. I didn't think I was gonna like either the Dunes. I'm in love. I love them so much in this song.
Give me that spice.
Yeah.
What song do you think from the album could work in a Dune movie?
I don't know.
That's really hard.
Yeah, I'm like imagining like Timothée Chalamet putting his hand in the thing.
Timothy's fucking Johnny and Made for Love song.
Yeah, we're from the Midwest. We don't know anything about sand.
Yeah, I feel like Origami Crane could work. Timothy Chalamet is like his black robe on and he's riding a sandworm and he's like, I can't beat the boss. It's like emo, shallow.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's say I know you said 15 minutes. I put a timer to make sure I don't get you out here late. But
we just gotta load in soon.
Of course, no
I
problem.
don't think we have to. But I don't know.
Up to you.
Let's get you there early, and then we can go like walk around and enjoy New York.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
get chopped cheese.
Yeah,
well, get that fucking chopped cheese.
I'll just say thank you so much for being here again. I know I said it so many times, but like, when you guys leave, we're gonna be like, oh my god,
seriously. We got close to this, and I was like, is this a real podcast? I was like, what did we agree to? And now I'm like, all right, I'm glad we did this. It was very fun.
I'm happy you had a good time. If you ever want to come back, feel free. That'd be cool. But also congratulations on your album and everything too.
Seriously, and we will be there tonight.
I'm gonna try to make it. My friend's birthday, bro.
Any songs you want to hear and requests?
I really want to hear Godzilla 86 Sucks. I really want to hear that. I would love to hear oh man, I want to hear a lot of Konami Code songs, but
we're like playing mostly Casual Crash.
I know.
Here, I'll give you 2.
Okay.
Godzilla
and I know you guys are gonna play Skirt Cobain, right? Like that.
Yeah.
So we usually play Skirt Cobain. Yeah.
Okay. So other than Godzilla, Mosh Pit Girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So
sure. That's what we kind of been playing on the.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, Mosh Pit Girlfriend is so good. I'm
glad you chose ones that we rehearsed.
I was about to say like we were not good for Always Raining.
You're gonna say like Always Raining in Philadelphia or like Stonecrest White.
I thought about it for a sec. I was like, no. Let me chill. I think I know the answer to that one. But I'll be there tonight for sure. Franco will try his best. But it's been incredible having you guys on. And check us next week where we talk about other bullshit.
Thank you, people. Thank you. And these people not, thank you. Thank you so much again. And what
did you want to say any last words, any promotion stuff, anything like that, or just
we're playing with Stay Inside tonight. You should check them out. We're on tour with Summer Breeze. You should check them out.
Yeah, check them out. If you're gonna be in Florida in October, come to Fest.
Hell yeah,
we'll be there, and just listen to some good music. I don't know. Check out our album. We talked about it this whole time.
Check out the album.
Perfect.
Be chill.
Don't hit your friends.
Go to Cadoba.
Be cool. Start a band. Try not to make people uncomfortable.
I like that one. I like that. That's a good one.
All right.
Bet. Perfect.
Later.
We did it. We won.